This is Olya, your breath and movement coach, and this is our Wednesday. I'm sorry for Wednesday evening, not Wednesday morning. Usually our class is happening at Wednesday morning Eastern Standard Time, New York time. This is where I live at 8 a.m. So due to some technical issues, it's happening at 8 p.m. today, which is a great opportunity for us to do some exercises focused on sleep and relaxation. So what are we gonna do today? We are working on more breathing, obviously, and we'll continue working on the pelvic floor health and pelvic floor muscles located, just think about bicycle seat, this area. If you're not sure where they are, in the part 1 I explain how you can find them. And let's go one more time about what I do and what these classes are about. So if you're not familiar with my classes and what I do, I focus on body tuning. Why I say body tuning? Because my workouts are breath focused workouts. I start with basics, I start with foundation. I always say if you want to build a house, you don't start from the roof, you start from the foundation. And this is what I do. So breath is foundation for our health. It's the foundation for our posture, for our stability, for our mobility. So breath and your digestive tract is interconnected. Our brain function, blood flow, lymph flow, endocrine system, nervous system, absolutely everything depends on our breath. So if you don't fix the breath and you have dysfunctional breathing, you're throwing yourself out there at the gym, and well, you might potentially be hurting yourself even more. And if you do improve your breathing, you can actually boost your immune system and give that opportunity for your body to heal faster if you're going through something, or you're just increasing more of I guess in more sustainable way your longevity, your appearance, because without proper breathing you won't have a proper posture. Without good posture you're not gonna have nice long neck, and you know your face usually starts kind of like slipping down. So I don't know if that's the right word. Anyways, so breath is foundation for a lot of things, and this is what I teach in my classes. So we combine breath and targeted exercises for different areas, and we gently, always gently move step by step, fix breathing, relearn how to breathe, because actually our body doesn't know how to breathe because we've been doing it correctly until the age like 5.5. So if you have kids, you can actually look at them how they breathe. Most of them in a young age actually breathe correctly. So what are we doing today? So we are jumping into breathing exercises and pelvic floor health. Our class will be about 20-25 minutes. Any level is welcome. If you have any questions, DM me. It's hard for me to see all the comments right away, but you can ask me any questions you want afterwards. So a lot of the classes I do one-on-one, and this class is your life, so I don't exactly know you, and if you have questions, then maybe I can find a good technique specifically for your problem. So we start standing. All what you need for this class is maybe a yoga mat or a blanket. For majority of the class you don't really need anything. Loose or not super tight fitting clothes are good. So this is kind of a nice bra that it's not super tight fitting and I can breathe easily. Your feet are hip distance apart. I'll always start with a couple of breaths. So inhale through the side and stretch. This is the end of the day, so I'm sure if you've been sitting and walking a lot, you'll enjoy this good stretch. Inhale and exhale through the nose, and side bend to the right, up and over. And your tongue is at the roof of the mouth. I'll be reminding you, because I want you to start breathing properly, and this is one of the foundational things. And come back to neutral. Inhale again, stretch, and then side bend to the left. You can pull your right wrist, your left hand if you'd like a little deeper stretch. But inhale and exhale. Make sure you're standing straight. So if there was the wall behind you, standing right up against the wall. Inhale and exhale through the nose. And come back to neutral. And shake it off. We need to roll your shoulders. Inhale, roll them. Connect your shoulder blades and exhale. 2 more times. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. And opposite direction. Give it a good roll. Shake it off. Let's do 10 arm swings. 3, 4, gently tap yourself. Tap your shoulder blades. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Shake it off. And now let's do a roll down. Let's stretch our hamstrings. You just use my hair tie. So gently rolling down, bend your knees as much as you need to. You start with your chin if it's accessible. If it's not accessible, bend your knees as much as you need to and slowly roll down. Just hang here for a few seconds. You can grab opposite elbows. Inhale and exhale. You can nod your head right and left. Yes and no. Feel the stretch and notice where you are. We'll go back to it later on and see if your stretch got any better. If your hamstrings are tight, you might enjoy this. Maybe bend one knee, opposite knee, and slowly roll up. The head last, roll up, and shake it off. There's a reason you've done this one, because tight hamstrings are really affecting your breathing. So we'll work on our hamstrings a little bit more today, because it's obviously all this area is connected to our pelvic floor. So let's get in the same standing position. Your feet hip distance apart, your knees are slightly bent, your tailbone is tucked in. So don't do this. Tuck in your tailbone. Bring your shoulders up and down. Tuck your chin a little bit to the back. We have a tendency to have our head forward, so this is our very relaxed and stable posture. Here, I want you to close your eyes and do a few inhalations and exhalations through the nose. If you're really congested, obviously breathe through your mouth. Stay here for a few seconds. All what I want you to do is to observe your breath. We're not changing anything. We're just observing those inhales and exhales. See if you can slow down your breathing. See if you can breathe just through your nose, or if it's uncomfortable and you have to breathe through your mouth. Observe the movement that's happening in your body. Where do you feel your breath? Do you feel your muscles working when you're breathing, when you inhale and exhaling? Does it feel like you can't really make a big breath and need to start breathing faster and feel some air hunger? Or is this really comfortable? Maybe start moving very slightly, like there's a light breeze and you're moving forward and back. And see how your weight is distributed from right to left. Is it more on the right side, on the outer side of the soles of your feet, or on the inner side? We're just observers here. We're not changing anything, just observing. Great. This is our posture, and I typically start my exercises, my classes with check in on the posture, because it's very, very important, and then it's easier to get into the breathing part. So I want you to put both of your hands on the lower part of your belly. It's the belly button, just a little bit lower than the belly button. And I want you to focus on inhaling and exhaling with the lower part of our body. And see if it's comfortable to expand your belly on the inhale, or is this something what's not natural to you? So slowly on the inhale, you inhale through the nose, and you start expanding our belly forward. We're exaggerating those inhalations, but this is needed for our body to relearn and reconnect to those muscles that participate in the breathing process. Only consistency and repetition. So inhale through the nose, your tongue is at the roof of the mouth, and exhale, your belly narrows, like you want your belly button to be as close as possible to your spine. And on the inhale, you expand your belly out. On the exhale, push all the air out. As you might feel that your abdominal muscles are starting to work. I invite you to inhale and exhale only through the nose in this part of the exercise. And if you have a mirror in front of you, maybe observe the movement. Look at your shoulders. Are your shoulders moving? Or are they perfectly leveled and relaxed? Mirror really helps when you're relearning how to breathe properly, because some of the movements we're so unaware of, and only when you take a picture and then you look at yourself, it's like, I feel kind of crooked, or like one eye is bigger than the other one. And all of those things you're not really feeling because your body is so smart and just adapting. If one leg is shorter than another one, your body will adapt, your eyes will adapt to the levels, so your body will start being crooked so your eyes can be leveled and not like that. So you're doing, I keep talking, so now we bring our hands to the rib cage, find the last rib, and bring both hands or just one hand on the rib cage. Now let's focus our breath on the expansion of the rib cage. Disregard all the noises. That's my washing machine that's working really loud. So rib cage expansion, we worked on that week 1, week 2, and we'll be coming back to it all the time. Give me 1 second. Back here, so reduce all the noises. So we're focusing on the rib cage expansion. Again, observe, you might not feel any movement in your rib cage. And this is fine. Many of us start right there because being locked up and bracing, this is what most of people struggle nowadays, and this is what we're here for. Just observing and trying to bring the breath down in this area. You can actually put your hands on the sides just like that and breathe into your hands and see if you can push your hands out. Forget about the belly. You are just breathing into the rib cage. Now bring your attention to the back. Maybe one hand goes in the back, one at the front, and try to breathe and expand your back as well. In and out of your nose, your tongue is at the roof of the mouth. And if you're one of those people who is bringing the shoulders up or has a tendency, you can do the same exercise, but bring some weight, like just grab 2 weights and just hold them like this, and do the same thing with weights. So naturally your shoulders will be down because it's harder for you to bring the shoulders up with some weights. If you don't have weights, well, grab like 2 bottles of water, 2 bottles of wine, whatever you have. So a couple more breaths here. in and out, expanding the rib cage. So look what's happening with mine. I'm breathing through the nose. So now, next is we bring our hands to the clavicle, this side, and we try to expand our chest forward without moving our shoulders. So we're not going for this. We're trying to inhale in this part, upper rib cage, and expand it as well. I call it 360. So inhale through the nose, chest expands, descends. You might find it a little bit easier than the previous one, but the trick is to keep your shoulders down. You might want to close your eyes if you feel stable enough. You can have one hand over here and one relaxed. If you feel like there's too much pressure on your shoulders, just in and out, maybe 5 more times. You should feel your hand moving just a little bit. Great, and now I want you to do 5 breaths, and I want you to connect all those parts of the body. I want you to feel the movement. I want the breath traveling from here to here, and we're inhaling and we're feeling the muscles working in our core, our rib cage, and when we're exhaling, we're pushing the air out as well. So when you inhale, you start with your belly expansion and filling up your chest, and on the exhale you exhale so your chest narrows, and then you push the air out of your belly. So again, we're just exaggerating it, and usually you don't breathe like this, but more those exercises are for practicing, so it's easier for you to breathe like this 24/7. So the right muscles are working, whatever is locked up is unbracing. This is what we're doing here. So feet hip distance apart, knees are slightly bent, and inhale, the belly expands, belly, chest, and exhale, chest and belly. And just like that, let's do 10 times. You're doing it at your own speed. Your chin is a little bit closer to the chest, so you're relaxed. You can close your eyes and just observe your breath. You're doing it very slow, so if it's not natural for you, many of people are reverse breathers, so meaning when you're inhaling, your belly actually goes down. When you're exhaling, belly goes out. This is biomechanically incorrect, and you really need to fix it because you're creating a lot of pressure, and especially for your pelvic floor, because when you inhale, your lungs are expanding, so there's less room here. Your diaphragm is going down and pushes everything down, so there's already less space, and now your belly goes in. So what happens, all your organs get so compressed, and there's the pelvic floor, pelvic diaphragm gets so much pressure that you're overworking it, and then pelvic floor issues, not just weak pelvic floor, but tight. So in tight muscles, also weak muscles. You continue doing what we're doing. I'm just talking and explaining here a little bit of theory so you know why we're here and what we're doing. A lot of people don't even know that they have pelvic floor issues and associating with something else, sometimes lower back pain, herniated disc, constipation, decreased blood flow to your sexual organs, and then lower sexual desire. So you're right there as well. All of that. Think about digestion. This is really a big one. If you have constipation, you definitely have pelvic floor issues, and the other way around. So one last one, and exhale. So now I want to focus on full exhales and full inhales, and the way we're going to be practicing it, we will inhale through the nose, fill up the belly, and then we inhale a little bit more, like 1 more tablespoon of air, and then a little bit more. So we're packing up our lungs, we're expanding fully, and then we relax and exhale. And if you'd like, you can relax through your mouth. We'll do it 10 times. The reason for this exercise, I want you to work your full lung volume. So not just the upper part of our lungs, which happens during the shallow breathing. I want our lungs to clear up. I want all the stagnation that we have in our lungs. I want everything out. So tomorrow after this exercise, you might actually feel some like mucus coming out, and this is absolutely normal. So hands are relaxed. So we inhale, and inhale a little bit more, and a little bit more. We hold here for a second, and then we relax. If you'd like, you can sit down for this exercise. You don't really have to be standing. You can be on the chair. I'm going to just lower my camera and get on this yoga mat. However you feel comfortable. Inhale. Inhale a little bit more. A little bit more. And exhale. See how my belly is descending. Inhale. Inhale a little bit more, and a little bit more, and I should have said that, so if you just had dinner, you have to wait a little bit for this exercise. You might feel a little uncomfortable, so just be mindful. And again, in a little bit more, breathe in a little more, and exhale everything out. And do it again. Inhale. Inhale a little more. Just think about how you're filling up your lungs a little more. And exhale. Relax. Exhale everything out. Inhale. See how my belly is expanding, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and everything out. See, there's always some room for a little extra. Inhale. A little more. A little more, and relax. And let's do a couple more times. Inhale, a little bit more, a little bit more, and exhale. And one last time. Inhale, and inhale, and a little bit more, and everything out. If you're seating, just maybe stretch your back and open up your chest. Connect your hands in the back. Bring your chin up and forward. Open up your chest. Now interlace your hands in front of you and arch your back. Imagine that space between your shoulder blades is opening up and expanding. Perfect. And one more time. Open your chest. And interlace your fingers in front of you. Great. And if you're in the seated position just like me, your right hand goes on the floor, left hand goes up and over, stretch diagonally. I want you to stretch this whole left side, our back and intercostal muscles. You can touch the floor. Bring your head down. Inhale and exhale. Breathe into this area. And open up. Look back. Don't forget to breathe. And come back to neutral. And now left hand is on the floor. Right arm goes up and over diagonally. Stretch. Stretch further. Maybe reach the floor. Breathe into the right side of the body. Stretch your armpit. And open up. Open up. Feel the stretch through your armpit, through your right arm. Open, look up. And come back to neutral. Great. Now we'll do, I call it air packing exercise. We already started with exhale, so now let's do the same thing with exhale. So what we're going to do, we'll inhale. We inhale in, expanding our belly, Find your belly button, so this area, bottom ribs, belly button. So we're expanding on the inhale, and on the exhale, we push everything out. Your back is straight. You're pushing like you want to empty and bring your belly button as close as possible to your spine. And then we exhale a little bit more and a little bit more. So there's nothing there. Then we inhale again. When you do it a couple of times, you will feel, you might feel a little dizzy. This is totally fine. So if you're standing, stand next to the couch or the table, but ideally just sit down. So this is great. You can also sit like this in the mermaid position, or just like that. If you want to be slightly higher, bring the pillow or yoga block or book. I want to make sure that your back is straight, like there is a string from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. So we inhale through the nose, and we exhale through the mouth, and then exhale a little more, and a little bit more. Hold here for a second, and we inhale and relax. I want you to fully embrace when you're relaxing. You're inhaling, and then exhaling again, and then a little bit more, and a little more. If there's anything else, do even more. Inhale, relax, and exhale, and a little bit more, a little bit more. Inhale, continue just like that, so your belly is expanding, your shoulders are down, and exhale, a little more, exhale. You're squeezing all the muscles, your back is working, and relax, inhale. And let's do a few more times. Exhale, 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 inhale, and exhale, inhale. We'll do 3 more times, and exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, everything out, inhale. The shoulders are down, and exhale, 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 and inhale. Great, this is air packing exercise, so if I'm referring to this, this is what it is. So we are working on increasing and clearing up our lungs, and we bring our breath down, which is biomechanically the most proper breathing. We're working our abdominal muscles, our back muscles. Those are the muscles that participate in the breathing process. We want to unbrace our body if it's too tight. If this exercise where you have to expand your rib cage is too difficult for you and you don't feel any movements, it means that you are really, really tight and you have to unbrace it. So in week 1 and 2, we worked a lot on the chest opening. We'll continue doing that. I just want you to understand the reasons why we're doing all of that. So the last exercise, what I want you to do is put your hand on the belly, and when we inhale and exhale, again we're expanding lower part of our body, but on the exhale we'll pull the pelvic floor muscles. We'll squeeze, like if you're using the bathroom and urinating and you're like stopping the flow. This is similar feeling that you're squeezing. If you're about like Kegel exercises, so sometimes that's also how it's explained, but not a big fan of those. I'll also explain why. But on the exhale, let's just for a few times exaggerate and try to find those muscles and feel them. So let's do 5 times. Hands on the belly. So we inhale through the nose, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Expand your belly. Full, deep, slow inhale, and on the exhale, exhale through the nose. We start exhaling and squeezing the pelvic floor muscles so we feel the energy traveling from the bottom up, from your pelvic floor, from your tailbone all the way up. And inhale, relax everything. And the exhale, exhale, squeeze your muscles, push the air out. Again, inhale, you have 3 more to go. And exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor muscle, push the air out. We are working our core quite a bit here. Inhale and exhale, squeeze. Squeeze like pull and fully relax. You should feel the contrast between relaxation and tightening those muscles. Last time, squeeze and pull. Amazing. Great. Now, just a couple more movements. So your legs in front of you, if you can stretch them fully, do so. I want your back straight. This is the most important. So if you need to keep your back, if you need to keep your knees bent for our back to be straight, this is totally fine. If you can extend your legs, that's great. So your hands go behind your back and behind your head, I'm sorry. And we start twisting side to side. Inhale and exhale, twist. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot of the times when our back is too tight, it's really hard to breathe as well, and it affects our hamstrings as well. So I want you to bring your arms through the side and bring your arms forward, then stretch your lower back. If you can stretch your legs fully, do so. If not, bend your knees. Relax your chin, bring your chin closer to your chest. Your chest is on your thighs. Inhale and exhale, breathe into your back, into your back side of your ribs. Feel those muscles elongating and expanding. I want you to feel your sit bones, and I want you to feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Great. And now one of my favorite exercises. So your knee is 90 degrees, and my left knee 90 degrees, so the right is on the knee. So this is where I ask you for the blanket or the pillow, so it's not too hard. And just stay here and stretch. I want you to feel that hip flexor. It's often so tight, especially if you're sitting or standing too long, or you're a runner. Inhale and exhale. Bring your breath down. Inhale and exhale. Now bring your left hand down and stretch with your right. Inhale and exhale here. So if your left leg is forward, so the left hand goes on the floor and you're stretching. Your right. Amazing. And now switch. So 90-degree bend in your right knee. The left is on the pillow and the blanket, or just on the yoga mat if that's comfortable. Stretch. I want you to feel the stretch right here. If it's accessible to you, if not, you can just skip this exercise whatsoever. I'll show you next week some more standing exercises for hip flexor and for hamstrings. If your right leg is in front, So right hand goes on the floor and left leg goes up and over. So now you feel full stretch from the hip flexor all the way up. Stretch, inhale and exhale through the nose here. Great. And now we are going back into the standing position. We'll do a couple more breaths here and we'll do a roll down. So inhale to the side, arms go through the side up. Inhale and exhale. Everything out. And now let's do our last roll. Arms up and bring yourself all the way down. Roll down, bend your knees as much as you need to. See if you can touch the floor a little bit easier versus beginning of the class. You actually haven't done too much for hamstring stretch, but you've been stretching your back, and it's also very helpful. Roll back up because tightness in the back really affects our hamstrings as well. Lower back, upper back, whole body is interconnected. I always keep reminding you. So this was our second part of breathing and pelvic floor health. Again, my name is Olya. I'm breath and movement coach, and I focus on breath work as a foundation for our well-being. And my classes are dedicated to fixing the breath, fixing our functional breathing, natural breathing, and then we add exercises and strengthening and tuning our body. So have a great night, have a great evening, and I'll see you next Wednesday. So subscribe so you don't miss those live classes. Sometimes schedule changes, but I try to do them on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. in the morning. Today was just an exception. So have a great night and ask questions if you'd like to get to know you. Yoga, yeah, definitely. Yoga is great.